Hey, Go Knucklers, it's Flo. Welcome back to Go Knuckle Talk with Flo, episode 70. So when you watch this episode on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video, and leave your comments, please. That's one way you guys can help us. Let me go ahead and introduce you, and early Thanksgiving, Miss Lisa Nolan Hafner.
Hey, Flo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So who's these two couples we have in front of us?
There's this motley crew in front of us. We are so excited tonight to have these two couples who share some similar history at Texas Tech. So please welcome to our show, Albert Vega and his lovely wife, Shelly Vorwerk-Vega, and Shawn Alsup and Amie Wade-Alsup.
Yeah, and Shawn does not own the Alsups. That's one L.
Unfortunately,
there's no bean burritos. We can't get free bean burritos from Shawn.
No free. I have no control over that.
So you want to hey, before we do this one thing, you want to go and ask them where they're from and what school?
So I'm going to ask you. It's a kind of a 3-part question. Like, what high school did you attend and where did you graduate from? What year you graduated and where are you currently living? So I'm going to start with Amie.
Luck of the draw.
So I graduated from Arlington High School and in 1991.
Okay.
So, and I twirled in high school and played the clarinet. Not very good, but.
Did you twirl at Tech?
And I twirled at Tech, yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Shawn, what about you?
Well, born and raised in Eastland, Texas, graduate of Eastland High School in 1984. Got to Lubbock in 1986, and I was part of ZIT from 86 till infinity. And I pretty much played every instrument other than tenors and was in the pit. So, and then that's how we met. We were up there, and we currently live in Mansfield.
Excellent. Okay, Shelly, how about you?
I grew up in Mesquite, and I graduated from North Mesquite High School, the Stallions, in 1987. And I played oboe, and I was on the color guard there. And then I started at Tech then in the Goin Band in the fall of 87 and was on the color guard there for 4 years. And we live in Wiley.
Okay. And last but not least, our classmate, Albert Vega.
Hey. Okay, I graduated in 1984. Gosh, I already forgot the questions. I'm old.
What high school did you go to? What year did you graduate? And where are you currently living?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so Plainview High School in 1984.
Habla en español. I can't even say instead in Spanish. So I'm sorry. I suck at Sorry, go ahead, Albert.
Well, then started at Tech in the fall of 84 and played alto sax, and as my wife said, we currently live in Wiley in the Metroplex.
And you said you're from the class of 84, correct?
Correct.
Well, hey guys, before we start this, so someone reached a milestone last week. Bix is 6-0, so I'm gonna raise my tequila, Tres Generations.
My
Shawn, happy belated 60th birthday, and
appreciate it.
Welcome to the club.
Many yours. And Albert, you're close, aren't you? Or are you 60 now?
In September, I joined the club.
He turned 60.
To everybody, y'all just turned 60. Congratulations. Cheers.
Join the club. Cheers.
Salud.
Happy birthday.
Oh, Lord.
Well, Albert, if you had an earlier birthday, you actually would have been in our class.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, the shirt. I usually wear Go Knuckle Talk shirt. Shabuzi, get out. Get. So, this is my dog. So, honor of 100 years.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
We're going on 100 years. Hold on. Go
When
ahead,
did you
Lisa. I'm going to shut this door.
Well, so you guys, before we get on to all the juicy stuff about your time at Texas Tech, is it safe to assume that you were all in band in high school? I know you were, Albert, but the rest of you, were you in band in high school? So I'd like to know what instrument you played in high school. Were you in the marching band? Shawn, I'm going to start with you.
Yes. Played both. I played sports and I was also in the band as well. I was drumline, played snare, but my junior and senior year they needed a tenor player, so that's really the only time I ever played tenors. So I did snare and tenor while I was at Eastland High School.
Well,
So
some people are, I was going to say, some people, what's tenor?
Tenor is, well, you got quads, you have tenors. Quads, you have 4 drums. Tenors, you have 5.
Okay. Sorry, Lisa. Go ahead.
Okay. No. So this is a part of the question I want to ask about your high school experience. How big was the marching band in Eastland?
Well, I graduated with 40 plus people. So
Jeez.
I'm going to go on record and say that our band was probably between 30 and 40 people. It's smaller than the drum line at Tech when I got to Tech.
Wow. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Okay, Amie, what about you? What did you play in high school? And I know you twirled, but what instrument? And then also, how big was your band?
So yeah, to twirl in high school, you had to play an instrument. So in 8th grade, they tested you on all the little instrument pieces to see. And so I got chosen to be clarinet. So not very great, but it was enough to get by in order to twirl. So, but I graduated from Arlington High School with a class of around the upper 500s, close to 600. So we probably had about 150 in band.
Wow. Okay, so pretty big marching band.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, Shelly.
Well, I played oboe, but I didn't know when I started playing in 7th grade. I didn't know that when I went to high school that you couldn't march with a double reed instrument. I didn't know that. And I hadn't tried out for the flags. I actually was a majorette in 8th grade, but not good enough to do it in high school. So they told me that I could march with a clarinet. Well, I didn't know how to play clarinet. I didn't have a clarinet. My mom's friend gave us a clarinet. It did not have a mouthpiece.
Oh.
I had so here I am holding this clarinet without a mouthpiece. I did find another mouthpiece. A friend gave me a reed, and then I found out that this clarinet would only play like 5 notes. So I learned those 5 notes my freshman year, and whenever they popped up, I played, but I still marched. And then I tried out for the color guard in the spring of my freshman year, and I was on the color guard all through high school, and then went on to Tech, and I was in Mr. Bearden's band my senior year. I was very nervous about playing my oboe in front of people. I was petrified of playing my oboe in front of people. So even though I minored in music and I took private oboe lessons every semester, I was afraid to play in a concert band, which is why I never joined TBS, because I wasn't in a concert band, and you had to be in band every semester, and I was only in marching band. But Mr. Bearden called me up in the spring of my senior year. He had found out that I played oboe, and I joined Mr. Bearden's band, and I did play in concert band one semester of my time at Tech, but I was on the color guard all 4 years.
So I need to go back. I want
to get over your fright of performing with the oboe.
No.
Well, I want to go back to the clarinet. Didn't they test you? I mean, like, you don't know any playing 5 notes? I mean,
they let me march because they knew that I played oboe and I had the musical experience. And back then, thank goodness for me, there really weren't any alternates, or I'm sure I would have been one, since I could only play 5 notes on the clarinet that didn't have a mouthpiece.
So did you fake it?
So I did really well. And then I played those 5 notes whenever they would come up. But Yeah, and that's when I decided this is not what I want to do. I want to be a part of this. And like I said, then I decided, I found out about the color guard, and I would watch them my freshman year. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Look what they're doing. And so then I decided to try out, and yeah, did guard for 7 years of my life, and I still go back and do it in the alumni band every year. So
Oh, cool.
So for viewers who don't know, can you share what color guard is?
the flag line. So
Okay.
when I was in high school, and then even when I was at Tech, they still called it the flag line. But starting probably, at least for me at North Mesquite, our senior year, we started adding other things. So my senior year, we added rifles. So I twirled rifle for a portion of our show senior year. And we had, instead of having just the regular 5.5-foot poles, we also had swing flags, which were about this long and this long. There you go. And so I guess they kind of changed it to color guard because it wasn't just flags anymore. So
Okay.
I don't really know. And when I was at Tech, we still called us the flag line. I guess now they call us the guard.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Albert?
Mr.
Yes, the powerhouse of the plains. I don't think they called us that when we were
No.
at school.
Yeah, we weren't. We didn't have that name when we were.
We were just the plains.
Yeah, the 5A band. That's
Yeah, but we were 300 plus, right?
We were close to 300.
Yeah.
I mean, just
So
that's the thing that everybody, like all the Lubbock schools, they were, like around 200. Everybody had a big band, but yeah, I started. I played sax and marching band, and then started playing bari sax and jazz band, and then that just continued on at Tech, doing the same thing, playing alto in the marching band, and then bari sax in jazz band, which I did, I guess, 4 years, and marching band 5 years. So
cool. Well, hey, when you guys was there any when you first started, especially you, Shawn, being in the ZIT? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pranksters. Was there any type of hazing or like initiation?
I mean, not really. I mean, I have my rookie manual. I found it today, and so this is from 1986. And so I was kind of going through it, and really the only thing we had to do as rookies in '86 was you had to get all your what we call all your SIGs. And if you didn't get all your SIGs from all the guys that were currently all the guys and girls that were marching at the time, you couldn't ride on bus 8. You had to go ride on something. Bus 8 was the drum bus plus guest, and guests were upperclassmen and bring people on. So other than that, that was about it. I mean, we had there were a few things where they'd call a rehearsal and we would show up, and the old guys would it was more or less a capture the flag thing. But as far as hazing goes, we really didn't have it. I mean, other than not getting your SIGs and not getting on the bus, that was about it. Okay. So, but I was just thinking back today about my rookie year, which was a while back. And it was fun times. Met a lot of cool guys going through the manual and just reading the names of everybody who signed the manual. Some of them still come back to alumni, so we get to catch up with them every year. And so, but no, it was fun. It was good times.
So I guess overall for you, you guys, your rookie at Tech, Amie, there was no not really hazing, but any. What's the word I'm looking for? At least I just said it. Initiation or anything. I mean, you were a twirler.
No, we didn't have time. We practiced all the time. I had a friend that we would just go down to the dorm in the mirrors, and if we weren't in class, that's what we were doing, is practicing, because every slap had to be together, every arm motion had to be together, everything had to be on count. So we didn't have time to do anything. So other than just, like doing it in front of upperclassmen, like doing the routine in front of upperclassmen was really nerve wracking. So that might be the worst case.
Well, that was a big. You guys had, I don't know, 10 maybe 8 to 10 twirlers or more.
We did. I think there was a year we had 12, but yeah, it just depends.
You
on
had
how
the main one, and then you had the rest. What is it called?
Yeah,
the
the
lead or the line?
I
Okay.
was on the line. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So when you got to Tech, so you tried out for twirler your freshman year?
I
Is
did.
that-
Yes. In the spring of my senior year in high school, I tried out. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
and I had been to band camp in the summers in high school every year. So I really already knew the girls. The coach that I had also was a former twirler. And so she really helped prep me for that. And so, yeah, I already knew going in. And then I instantly already had friends, which was really nice because we had already had practices in the summer together with the girls. So I didn't go in not knowing anybody. I didn't know my roommate, but I did know all the girls that were twirling.
okay.
already.
So it wasn't this terrifying experience where you knew no one and were walking into. Okay.
No. I mean, it was coming from a big high school. I knew people that went there, but not good friends. So, but I instantly was put with them and we became good friends. And I still talk to so many of them now.
Oh, cool. Albert, what about you, my man? You know, the saxophone, the sexy saxophone. Was there any sexy initiation for you guys?
Well, actually, it was for all the freshman males. I really wouldn't call it initiation, but after, I guess it was the second day of rehearsals of summer band, they just said all freshman males, all freshman guys just stay in the band hall after everybody was dismissed. We had to polish all the tubas. They bring out, like
that
32 tubas. I'm sorry, what?
No, I remember that.
Yeah. And we had to polish tubas. And here's the thing, that what we had to use we used the polish and you'd go and they'd go, come get your equipment. And so they'd give us the jar, the container to polish, and they'd give us a feminine maxi pad, and that's what you use to
Oh my God.
polish the tubas. So that was the extent of it.
Oh wow! Did they inspect the tubas after you finished?
Yeah, they made sure that they were clean, and I think that kind of died off after maybe 86.
No, they were still doing it when I got there in 87.
Okay, then, but it's in probably like 87, 89, 88, somewhere in that vicinity. I think that died off, but that was about the only thing, really.
Oh wow!
Other than that, they included you. They had all kinds of activities, parties, get-togethers, just so you could meet people and not feel a part of the band. And not feel left out. So it was more stuff was done to get that togetherness so you could make friends. So really no hazing initiation. I mean, to me, that wasn't initiation. It was just one of those things that we did and we had fun doing it.
Did you guys not have to wear those rookie hats?
No, we didn't.
Nope.
Shawn, did you have to wear the rookie hat?
Nope.
Amie,
Was it a bigger Kotex or something?
No, it was this horrible. I have it someplace. It's just a baseball cap, and it's
like a trucker's hat,
old-fashioned kind with the mesh on the back, and it said "Goin Band" and then in real big letters "Rookie." And we had to wear it to every single practice until the football team won a game.
Oh wow!
So,
back then you wore it pretty often.
Yeah. I know that we didn't win the first game. We were all so somewhere I have that.
Well, usually the first game is against New Mexico, some team from New Mexico, and we always beat them.
But this was back when we were in the
Southwest Conference.
Southwest Conference.
So did you have to wear the cap again after a loss and start all over?
We had to wear it until they won their first football game. To every
and that was it. Okay.
And that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, before I'm going to ask Gab one more question. Any other Plainview people marching when you first started?
Of course, Jeannie
Oh,
Hogan's
yes.
for her. And that was it. And then the following year, then Martin Barrera joined, or it might have been 2 years after. There was several Plainview people that joined afterwards, but for my class, I was the only one.
Okay. All right, Shelly, what about you? I mean, I guess the cap's your initiation, really. That's the only
yeah,
thing
that
you
was,
have.
yeah. There were 3 of us from the class of 87 from North Mesquite. And one of them actually, well, one was my roommate, Lori Colgrove Williams. She played trumpet. And so she was my roommate my freshman year. And we were super excited when we both found out we were going. We're like, okay, we're going to room together. But the reason actually that I looked into tech was because of my other friend, Bob Bukosovich. He was in the Goin Band for 2 years and he was an architecture major. So his schedule was just crazy. He really couldn't stay in band after 2 years, but he's the one that got me interested in tech and knew that because North Mesquite was a large band. I'm thinking we were probably 200, somewhere upper 100s to 200, because back then 5A was the largest, and that's what we was a large 5A school. But he's the one that told me about tech, and I remember he said, well, check out Texas Tech. And I said, where's that? And he said, Lubbock. And I said, where's that? I had no idea. And so he's the reason actually that I applied to tech and went to tech. So,
Okay.
So there were there.
Let's go to your first time marching in Jones Stadium, because now it's Jones AT&T Stadium, but now it's Jones Stadium then. So let's just stick with you, Shelly. What was your surreal moment when you realized, wow, I'm not in Kansas anymore?
I don't remember the very first time. I don't have that memory. What I remember is being on the band parking lot with 400 members and just completely in awe of everything. I have tons of memories of being, at Jones and performing, but I don't actually remember the first time that I was there. I don't know if I was just scared I would screw up or I don't know, but I don't remember the very first time, but I do remember those first practices on the band parking lot being in complete awe as a member of this amazing organization.
Well, that's cool. What about you, Albert? I mean, coming off a grassy field, bumpy, and now you're an artificial turf. What, maybe 40,000 people? I don't know how many people did they attended was back then, but
I mean, it was so different. But as you marched from the music building to the stadium, that was just my favorite part. It was fun. The cadence, all the different cadences that Zit would play, and it's like you're having fun. And as you're getting close to the stadium, you're thinking, all right, this is going to get real. And then you hear the crowd, and of course, the first game was always sold out, because there was always hope, they'd win more than 3 games and they'd actually win the Southwest Conference and go to the Cotton Bowl, so the first game was packed. And so once we'd get there, we'd split and go down your respective tunnel, whichever one you needed to be in for pregame. And once you got in the tunnel, then Zit just started doing these taps, which Shawn could do. And everybody's just yelling, go Tech, go Tech, go Tech, as you're marching down. And you just all of a sudden see the crowd, and it's like, wow, this is awesome. And you just get nervous. And then, we had to just stand in the tunnel and wait when it was our time to go on. And then it was like, okay, here we go. And it was just fun. But I mean, it was just, and I was in awe just of that moment, going down, seeing the crowd, and it's like, gonna be fun. This is different, and it sure was.
Cool. But you, Shawn? I mean, you guys being the zits, like he's mentioning. So how was it for you, man?
Well, in '85, I started marching drum corps, which is outside of the tech drum line. I mean, the tech band. So I'd marched drum corps '85 through '87. So I had, coming into '86, my first year at tech, I'd spent the entire summer traveling around the country, and we had marched at like Camp Randall, Arrowhead Stadium. We did shows all over. So coming into Jones Stadium, the crowd was bigger. But from a stadium standpoint, I had like kind of 2 years of like doing this all summer. And so as far as like performing and everything, that was just part of the gig. But I do remember coming down the tunnel for the first time, how steep it was. That was new. And then just getting out there and trying not to overthink, because I marched cymbals my first year at tech. And so there was a lot of twists and turns and stuff and everything, and just making sure I was just like, okay, I don't want to mess this up. I'm a rookie. But that was great, and just the atmosphere, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Loved it so much I stuck around for a while. So yeah. But yeah, it was good times. And you could throw tortillas back then. So yeah, that was like, they were all over the place. So good times.
You stuck around. You stuck around long enough to meet Amie.
Yes, I did. Yep.
Dude, I could just imagine the zits, taking a little pre-shot before each game. I guess that didn't happen.
Shot?
Yeah, a shot of something.
A shot of something.
I mean, did you guys have a ritual before you started?
Well, no.
Hitting the bong.
I'll plead the fifth. The last year on March, I'll plead the fifth.
Okay.
But no, it was just like just putting on the uniform, doing the tunes, marching over. That was always fun. And then when you get to the top of the tunnel and you're walking down and everything, that such a rush, and you were good to go. And of course, back then we could split the drum line. You could have half the drum line on the field during the first quarter, and then you would swap. I don't think they do that anymore. So, you were constantly involved in the game. So as far as like having to do anything prior to get fired up, no, man, it was just the adrenaline rush.
Well, before we get to Amy's answer, I want to bring this photo up. Man,
yes.
when did the mullets start? Jeez, those are some huge mullets there, buddy.
That was kind of the thing back then,
Yeah.
There was some good guys in that picture.
So you want to tell everyone real quick who's the guy at the far right?
Oh, the far right. Yeah, those people that are happen to be tuning in. I met Rich. I forgot what year he was, his first year, but if you happen to go to a Jason Aldean concert, that is Jason Aldean's drummer.
Sweet.
Yeah. So Rich and I we stay in contact via Facebook, but I know he's got a busy schedule and so, but yeah. And then the other two guys, I try to stay in contact as much as I possibly can. So
I bet you guys worked in your hair just as much as the Twirls did.
it was, I'm not going to lie. There's a little bit of spray in there. So
a little mousse,
a little bit of mousse, a little bit of spray, a little bit of straightening here or there. So,
Miss Amie, what about you? What was your surreal moment?
I don't remember exactly the first one. I think because for that, especially those first few games, because we wore those boots, and I never twirled in boots before with heels, and then being on AstroTurf. So I think for the most part, I was probably just so concentrating on the counts and what we're supposed to do that I forgot to take note of everything around me. So that's what I remember. Like the whole first year is like, oh oh my gosh, I'm going to mess up, or I'm going to miss a count, or I'm going to drop my baton, or I'm going to trip in these boots, or, whatever it might be. So,
Well, I know like our twirlers in high school, like especially out of town games, they would put they have the rollers in their hair. Did you guys do that?
Yes. Yeah, you did.
I can't remember. Sleeping rollers? I
was sleeping rollers.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was sleeping rollers.
Maybe. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we wore our hair down, not in buns. So a lot of times you'll see them, now wear their hair in buns or something. But no, we had our.
You have a picture of her, don't you? Didn't I send you one?
Yes, I do. All right, let me go ahead and bring that back.
She doesn't know that I sent this, but I sent this.
Is that the one where she dropped the baton?
No, this is
Oh, look at the hair. That's huge.
Wow,
nice.
I love
You look
it.
fabulous.
90s hair. Yeah.
And it's 90s as well.
Yes. That was a lot of hairspray.
Yeah. I bet you borrowed it from Shawn. So hell, what the hell?
we shared.
I know, but look at your beautiful posture and stance. It's awesome.
What class was this? Like, are you freshman, senior, or
I
You
think it's
remember?
freshman
freshman? Okay.
with my longer hair, because then
That's
I
cool
cut it
photo.
off and didn't have so many curls to do. So Yeah.
All right.
that was probably freshman year.
I just realized we have band three members on this podcast.
We do. You are outnumbered. They used to call my freshman year, they called us band four. In fact, that rookie hat, I remember that Sherry Bartlett Gordon, who was one of my captains, she got a permanent marker for all of us on the flag line and wrote band four. So I didn't really know until many years later that there really wasn't a band four and that we were actually band three.
Band three.
So there was a Caucasian band and a Hispanic band? No? Okay. My bad.
I think it helped. Albert can answer this better than me, but the band three was drumline, or zit, color guard, and twirlers.
Twirlers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I believe band 1 and 2 was split down to 50, but I can't remember which side was which.
Back then, the parking lot. Coming out of the music building back then, to the right was band 1, and to the left, closer to Horn Nap, was band 2,
Okay.
where I was at.
You were band
What
two.
was the reasoning for splitting you guys in band 1, 2, or 3?
Because most of the drill, everything was
Competitions.
symmetrical. So you would, the bands would just do the opposite, and for the stereo sound and everything. So, just to teach drill and everything, it was always divided into band 1 and band 2. For the pregame show too, you split down the middle, and that's how you knew which tunnel to go to. So
I
And,
never knew that.
and
So
for the
band,
band Olympics too.
no,
no, band
no
one
part
is
of
what?
band 1 and band 2 went to
okay.
one side.
okay.
What was that, Shawn? And for what?
Yeah. And for the band Olympics.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
1 versus 2 versus 3.
Exactly.
Remember that. I'd forgotten about band Olympics.
Okay,
Oh.
you guys got to explain what were the band Olympics and what kind of events did y'all have?
Oh gosh.
I could
Wasn't
just
that
picture
at the War?
War was the last thing.
I could just picture the nerds, that movie when they had their Olympics.
No, we
No.
were not nerds.
Uh,
The
Hey,
going
I was in band, but I was like Shawn too. I was able to play sports and be in band, so I was half nerd. I'll go ahead.
See, the thing with the band Olympics, usually whoever lost, there would be a breakfast hosted by like the Chamber of Commerce, like at 6:30 in the morning.
Mhm.
So the band that usually lost had to go play that half. They had to go play, the fight song, school song, all the spirit songs for that breakfast. So you had to get up early and be there. That was usually, the thing if you lost. So you try to win so you could get out of having to get up early and go to that breakfast.
Band 3 had to do it anyway.
I never went to that.
Hey,
Huh?
I never went to that.
Oh,
I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah.
They didn't need us there, but they would need Zit.
we went every year.
It might have been. I might have gone my freshman year, but that's, man, I got to go back in the archives for that, because I remember Knights of Columbus and things like that, but I don't remember that breakfast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think it was the Chamber of Commerce or somebody like that would put it on
That
Civic
pancake
Center,
breakfast.
Downtown.
downtown at the Civic Center.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, nobody. And so would this breakfast be like the morning after the game? Or another day?
A weekday.
It was in a weekday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, but in college, I mean, who wants to get up that early?
Exactly. That's why you didn't want to lose.
Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. So back to the game. When you line up at halftime waiting to perform, did y'all ever mingle with the ball players? Did you ever have conversation with players, or try to say hi to a player that you admired or that was your friend? Or
I can see Shawn doing it.
Well,
Or Albert. I guess.
Let's just say I have an Arkansas football in my classroom at school. The drum line would always be on the opposing team's sideline. That's where we would line up. So didn't get to interact with a lot of the Tech players, but you would get to mingle with the opposing team. As far as like an interaction with a player, I'd have to go back to, I forget the year, but I remember we were at the Astrodome. So I'm going to date myself here a little bit. And the Oilers were playing San Francisco, the 49ers.
I have that picture hanging right here.
Okay. All right. So we're in the tunnel, and here comes Joe Montana.
Yes.
Here comes Steve Young and Jerry Rice. And I don't remember who it was, but somebody was smart enough to have a Sharpie. And so all three of them signed a drum head.
Oh, cool.
I don't know where that drum head is, but they signed it, and I didn't really. When you see those guys on TV, it's kind of like basketball players. When you see somebody that's like 6'4", they don't look that big on TV. I didn't realize how big these guys were until you're actually standing next to them. But yeah, that would be the one interaction that I remember the most, was getting to see three Hall of Famers just right there.
Sweet.
So that was pretty cool.
Albert, you
Oh,
kind
that
of
was
like.
I would always usually line up on, like at a home game on the visitor side. So every time Rice would come to town, I'd look for Roy Thompson, and it's like, "Hey, Roy, what's up?" And he'd kind of just turn if he wasn't on the field and wave, and it's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then he'd just turn around so the coach wouldn't see that he was out, talking to a band person or something. So I'd always look for Roy. And then when we did a marched halftime at a Cowboys game, same thing. I was just shocked at how big those guys were, and we were lined up near Howie Long, and it's like, wow, that was another Hall of Famer, and just this huge guy. I just remember that. It's like, whoa.
It's kind of shocking how big they are.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about
I'm
you,
like,
ladies? You
giant.
see any one
Well,
in class?
I had eye-to-eye contact with Joe Montana at that game that Shawn was talking about. We were finishing halftime, and I was walking off, and I saw him, and I was in love with Joe Montana, like totally in love with Joe Montana. And so I was so excited that he was going to be at the game we were marching. I was like, what if I see him? What if I get to see him? What if I get to see him? And I couldn't believe it. We were getting ready. We were walking off at halftime, and there he was. And he was passing the football back and forth, warming up. And he walked right by me. And I was like, I've got it. I can't look straight ahead. I have to look at him. So I'm walking off the field, and I'm looking at him, and he looked right into my eyes. So I can say Joe Montana looked at me. But no, as far as a tech player, the only interaction I actually had was at Band Alumni a few years ago with one of my former students from Parrish where I teach. And I knew that he was at Tech. And so I was looking for him and I saw him and right before halftime and I yelled out his name and he looked over at me. I didn't want to get him in trouble. So I just kind of waved and he smiled and, went back and was listening to the coach. But I never really looked for any big tech players. I was just looking for my former student at Band Alumni.
Amie, should Shawn go inside the house before you say this? Just kidding.
I think we're good.
No, we were always practicing. So, and we were always ducking for, don't hit us, or watch out. So no, I never really remember having any contact with them.
I will say this, that I remember there was actually another quarterback from Eastland besides Barron, Jason Rattan. He was from Eastland as well, and he was quarterback at Tech. And so I got to interact with him after a game one time. So that would probably my really only interaction with any player, other than Billy Joe Tolliver was in one of my classes one time, but that was outside of football. So
yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this. I guess I can ask, the next question is like, what's your favorite, most memorable? But I want to know, Albert.
Yes.
Was there a band, another opposing band, just like you're going, wow? You were just in awe of them, or you were just like, yeah, wow.
My favorite halftime always was when either we went to A&M or A&M went to came to town.
mm-hmm.
Just two huge bands, just the sounds. The whole show, the pageantry from both bands. That was just my favorite. And once, they left the conference, that's what I miss seeing. I miss seeing the Aggie band in Lubbock. But I always loved seeing them.
Was anybody from Plainview there when
nobody in the Aggie band?
Not like Carol Horn, because she went there, right?
Yes.
But she didn't march.
No.
Well, is it an all guy? Was it an all guys band back then?
I think it was. They didn't probably maybe till the late 80s, early 90s that they finally somebody broke the gender barrier.
Okay. Cool. Shelly, what about you?
Like our favorite performance, or
no, just an opposing band that you saw the Flag Corps and you were like, wow.
Actually, this sounds bad, but I would look at the other bands and I would go, wow, we're really good.
Good. Yay.
The UT band, they were big, but I was never impressed. I was never impressed with their sound. I was never impressed with the color guard. I always thought we were heads and tails, better than them. But I did feel the same way about the Aggie band, just the intricacy of their drill and how they would, turn in on each other, that it was fascinating to watch. So I did also, like Albert said, really enjoy watching the Aggie band. They were amazing.
Okay.
Well, I want to ask about the Aggie band. So in your era, when there were all guy band, I would imagine that their whole marching style was vastly different than Tech's. Can you just kind of elaborate a little bit on how different that was? And I'm assuming that's one of the reasons why you were in awe of that band.
Well, it was all military, and we did a pass-through show that we would do one military show, right, the patriotic show. One past patriotic is what I was in for, the patriotic show. But what the Aggie band does is they turn in on each other, and they're so close together that I still don't know how those tubas could turn, but they would pass through each other and then they would turn and come back the other way. And sometimes they would go diagonally across the field, but they were so close together. It was fascinating to watch them.
Okay. Shawn, what about you, man?
A&M hands down.
Okay.
Unbelievable. After once I'd been there for a little while, when we actually got to be down on the field and we would split the drum lines during the game, I got some of the rookies together and I said, guys, I just want you to watch this. Just watch this. It's not our style because we were more, obviously a different style than the military thing. But I said, just watch it and just take this in. It was just the atmosphere, the spirit, I got chills when I was at Kyle Field because of what's the word I'm looking for? It was just something special. And A&M band, I know they're playing this Thursday. I'm going to watch them. Hopefully I get a little TV time when they play on Thursday, I believe. So, it was A&M for me.
I still want them to lose, but
Oh no.
Not to Texas.
Not to Texas.
Yeah.
oh, they're playing Texas.
Exactly.
So I hope they tie.
We root for Texas Tech and whoever is playing Texas.
Uh-huh.
Yes, absolutely.
That's how we do it in our house.
What about you, Amie?
Well, nobody else ever had twirlers, so honestly,
Really?
pay a lot of attention. They might have had a feature twirler, like Texas had a feature twirler, but no one else had lines. So that's why most of us went to Tech in the first place, because it was the only place we could go.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
So, there's not a lot of. Alabama has a line.
LSU.
You know, but for Texas, there wasn't really anywhere else you could go and be on a line. So,
So I can imagine there was a lot of girls trying out then.
I want to say there were probably about 15 or 20 the year I tried out.
Okay, I figured it'd be more than that.
There were 3 of us and a feature twirler. So that year, there were 3 freshmen and a feature twirler that were brand new out of that group. So, yeah, pretty
competitive.
tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very competitive. Wow, I did not know
didn't know
that about other bands in Texas.
Yeah, they're not. And even now, it's like twirling is kind of not a thing very much anymore. You still see feature twirlers every once in a while, but not in college. I think TCU probably has the ones that I know, because the coach I had worked with a lot of TCU twirlers. So there's several that I know that were from TCU. One of them, a student that I had years ago, was twirled at TCU. Actually, I started her off when we lived in Austin. I taught little twirling classes to 4-year-olds.
Wow.
When we first had our girls in a little town outside of Austin. And then sure enough, she contacts me and says, I made TCU twirler. And seen her.
That's cool.
When she was
That's
5
really
or 6, something like that. So
That's really cool.
yeah, you don't see lines in Texas a lot.
I didn't like, at least I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard a rumor that TCU and SMU is closing their football program.
What?
That's what I heard. Someone in the office. So it could be some BS. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm about to Google,
No,
or at least are you going to Google?
I'm getting on Google right now.
Won't you ask? I'll look for it. Won't you ask her the next question?
Wow. Our daughter went to TCU,
I'll
so
ask-
that's quite upsetting.
Yeah, I'll ask her when she gets here.
Okay, so is there a game that is a favorite memory of a game that really stands out for you in terms of either your performance or the atmosphere or who you were playing? Is there a particular game that's just super memorable to you? So Shawn, you're nodding. You're going to go first.
The infamous zit on the Longhorns, I forget the year, but quick backstory. That particular year we were marching Remo drums, and to tune your drum, you had to have an Allen key, and everybody had an Allen key on them. And so we're out rehearsing on on that Saturday morning. We had our run through or whatever, and I heard somebody say, "Hey, let's carve zit on the Longhorn." And so somebody took their Allen key and put a Z on the left side, I at the top of the head, T over here. And we're like, oh my God, but then we tried to like rub it out with our feet, just trying to rub it out. When you rub it out with your feet, eventually you start rubbing off all the paint. And so you had zit very noticeable on the field. Well, this was a nationally broadcast game.
Oh,
And so when the camera would pan right to left, we go past the 50-yard line, you could see, if you're paying attention, you could see zit right in the middle of the field.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. I was a part of that. And so I remember on Monday we got back, and the drum line, we would rehearse. We would have the 11 o'clock class before we would have band at 12. And director comes in, Bearden comes in, not very pleased, and talked to us about it. And of course, I made the comment about, well, why can't you just go to Ace Hardware and get some white spray paint and paint it over? Because they wanted us to pay to replace the entire Longhorn, the drum line. Nothing came about it. It is what it is. But that was probably one of the times that really sticks out. That plus somebody crawled up on the 12th man and put a tech band hat up on top of the 12th man. So other than that, those are the two things I remember.
wow. Okay. Those are two things you're never going to forget.
Oh, no.
Oh,
So many years removed, and it's just like it was yesterday. So
y'all are lucky you didn't get in worse trouble.
I mean,
Kids being kids.
we're kids.
Amy, what about you?
I would say when we were at the Broncos game, doing the halftime at Broncos game, for me was, I'd never been in a NFL stadium, never been anything like that. So it was just in awe of being in a place like that.
Why did you guys go there?
We
Was it
were
a bowl game or?
no.
Well,
it was just,
we played the University of Wyoming on Saturday.
Okay.
and then
so
we just on the way back, he would just try to find places for us to perform, and there happened to be a Denver Broncos game that Sunday. So, however, all that worked out, I don't know, but it was cold as anything.
Yeah. And if memory serves, that Wyoming game, I believe that they just let us do the halftime show, because I want to say that their band was probably just maybe 100 people or so. And so we did the halftime show in Laramie, and then we did a post-game show, and most of the Wyoming crowd stuck around. We just sat up in the stands and did like a bunch of tunes and stuck around. But that was the day before we went to Denver on our way back.
Right. How did the Denver people react to you guys being in the field halftime? Did they pay attention, or could you?
It's just like at any halftime at a pro game.
They're
No.
beer. They're trying to get
But I want to say that game. I want to say that game we did a show where we did the Yellow Rose, where we did like the flower thing. So I remember doing that. People started there was a lot of applause and standing up, because that was one of my favorite drills, is when the band 1 and 2 did the Albert. You can speak more to this than I can. I just stood there on the 50-yard line. So
Yeah, the flower drill.
The flower drill.
Yes.
So Albert, what about the flower drill?
Well, that was just something cool, and just totally. It seemed complicated, but once if you listen to all the instructions, and it's like, okay, this can be done, and once you did it, it's like once you you did it one time, then you knew what to expect in subsequent years when it would be done, and you knew, and it was just like, wow, this is cool. Whether and we did it sometimes. It was called a light show. They would turn the lights off in the stadium, and we would wear the bucket hat, where you, instead of putting a plume in, we would put a glow stick. And so that's all we had. Stadium lights were out, and so everybody had a glow stick, and you just performed the whole show in the dark, and all the forms and everything. I mean, it was all glow in the dark, and I mean, it was just the coolest thing. So that was one of my favorite things. And whether we did the flower drill or any other drill, doing it as a light show was really memorable. And
that was the Batman show.
That one also.
The Batman show was one of those light shows.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. We made the bat signal out on the field. That was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Shelly?
Two of my most memorable, one of them, it was my freshman year. It was your senior year, right? So it was incredibly cold that day, incredibly cold. And then we marched over, and then it started like freezing rain, right? And I remember, so the flag line for pregame, we were in the end zone, and we would do a routine. So we came down the tunnel, but then instead of running out of the tunnel like the rest of the Goin Band did, we just came out early and went all the way down to the other end of the field and got in the end zone, and that's where we started. And I remember the captain saying, "We are not going to twirl." And literally we stood there, and I think we even had our coats on still, which was a huge no-no, but Mr. Bearden let us keep our coats on, I think. And I remember just standing there in the end zone thinking, I've never been so cold in my entire life. And then we sat through the first half of the game, and then right before halftime, Mr. Bearden said, "Okay, go home." So we never even performed, but I have never been so cold in my life. And I think that's why I remember that one so much. The other one that I remember, I was mortified by this. The Gatlin brothers were there.
Yes.
To perform. And we were playing Houston, and they were singing Houston, and pretty soon the student section, after they would go Houston, the student section would go sucks. Mm-hmm. And the flag line, we weren't twirling to that song. We were just standing there, and we're all standing over there going, "Oh God, no, please don't do this. Please don't do this." And they would just get louder and louder. So one of the Gatlin brothers went to Tech, right? And he had on a Tech jersey, and one of them went to Houston and had on a University of Houston jersey. So I was impressed. They just kind of embraced it. And whenever they would get in the song to the part that said Houston, and they knew that our fans were going to go sucks, the one Gatlin brother would just cue the student section to come in on sucks. And I mean, they made the most of it, but we were, oh my gosh, we were just like, please don't do this. Please don't do this. But the students are going to be the students, but I will never forget that. And what's funny is, to this day, every time I hear that song,
you're saying sucks.
You're saying sucks to this day.
That's cool. Hey, yeah, that's a really good story. Let's talk about this, guys.
Albert made that sign.
Albert made the sign. Is it still there, Albert?
He had that sign made for our wedding. Yes.
Oh,
nice.
So you started this, Albert.
It's right here. It's hanging right here. Yep, in our office. So he had that made by a dear friend in Plainview, right? Before we got married. And we had it sitting out at our reception. We had different signs and some little tech things and different candy for people to pick up and things for them to sign. But he had, it's hanging right here. Oh, look.
What's wrong with your knees?
Building.
Did you fall, Albert? I mean, is she helping you up or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met in that band parking lot in 1987.
So that's where I proposed.
He proposed in 2013. You know, we didn't get married until way after, you know, our time at Tech was over. So we figured that it had been 25 years since we had seen each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that Albert, is that the ring in your left hand? Can't tell.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. So
were you surprised?
No, he had it all planned. I mean, like he told me all
knew.
about it. I knew all about it. Well, it was supposed to happen for New Year's 2013, right? No, 2017.
Yeah.
2013 is when we started dating. For 2018, it was supposed to be New Year's for 2018. That's when we got married. And I couldn't get out to Lubbock, or I couldn't get out to Plainview because
there was an ice storm.
And then he was going to come in town the following weekend, and he got super sick. And so I said, okay, this is a sign that this needs to happen in Lubbock. So we agreed to meet in Lubbock. He invited all of his siblings because, you know, he got married. He's already 50 something by this time. We got married much later in life. Neither one of us had ever married. We had never had kids. And, you know, we didn't reconnect until 2013. So he wanted all of his siblings there. So it was wonderful. It was definitely not a surprise because here's all the Vegas. But that's what he wanted. And it was wonderful right there on the steps of the music building.
Oh, that's cool.
But I had that sign made because our director, Mr. Bearden, on everything on Facebook, whenever there was a couple that had met in the Tech band and was married, you know, he'd always comment, another marriage made in the Tech band. So I thought, well, I'm going to have that made into a sign for our wedding. And
Oh, that's awesome.
Did you trademark it?
no.
So, do y'all want to share with us how you reconnected after all those years? Was it via Facebook?
It was through Facebook. He had posted on Facebook that he was coming out to Jerry World. That's what we call it.
For the Baylor
for
game.
the Baylor game in 2013. And I knew that just through Facebook, I knew that he was still really involved with the Tech band. I didn't know exactly what he did. But then a friend of mine that I taught with at Parish, where I teach, Parish Episcopal School here in Dallas, she also went to Tech. She was a couple years after me. But anyhow, we had decided to go to the game. And I had seen on Facebook that he was stopping in Abilene the day before to watch them perform or practice, them practice.
The Goin Band was stopped in Abilene to rehearse.
And so he and his brother were there and kind of followed the buses and everything. And so then when we got to the game, he had posted on Facebook a big picture of the Jumbotron. And he said, you know, Reckham Tech. And I wrote in and I said, I'm here too. Where are you sitting? And I'm a math teacher, so I know numbers. I remember numbers easily. And he said, well, we're in section 441. Where are you? And I said, well, I'm in 444. Let's meet up after halftime because, of course, we have to watch halftime, you know. And so then right after halftime, I had told my friend that I was with, I said, I'm just going to go down to the concession stand. And I went down there not knowing that while I was walking down, he was texting me to say that he was down at the bottom of section 444. And I walked down and I see him standing there. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, that's Albert. And he's really good looking. That's Scott. And so we're standing there talking. We had a real serious conversation in about 20 minutes about how neither one of us had ever married. We'd never had kids. He told me about how he took care of both of his parents before they had passed away. And he told me that his senior year, which was my freshman year at Tech, was his favorite year at Tech. And we were talking about how we got to know each other on the bus trips and everything. And so I said, well, I better go back upstairs. You know, my friend's up there by herself. And he said, well, before you go, I need to tell you something. I'm like, okay. Do you mind if I tell him this?
Go ahead.
I'm going to anyhow. And he says, well, he said, my senior year, your freshman year, the reason it was my favorite. And I said, yeah. He said, it was you. And I went, what? And he said, it was you. And he said, you made that year so fun for me. And you were because we didn't date. We were just friends. I was dating someone back home. So we were just friends. But he said, you were so kind. You were so nice. I had so much fun on the band trips, you know, hanging out with you on the bus and all that. And I was in shock. And he kissed me on the cheek. And I forgot to get food because I was in such shock. And I went back upstairs. And my friend said, well, how's your friend? And I'm like, And I told her, I said, well, I think that he kind of told me he liked me and I never knew it. And she's like, her famous words, you need to pursue this. And so the whole time, because she drove the whole way home, she's like, text him back. Did he text you? Did you text him back? So the whole way home, we texted each other. And then he went back to Plainview the next day. And I don't know, we just kind of fell in love over the phone in the course of that month from November to December. And then we went out together on New Year's and I was like, oh, this is something special. This is something special.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you
That's
for
pretty
sharing
cool.
that.
We've got a really good story. We've got my friend that went with me that day, we were eating at lunch about a month later and she announces to everyone, Shelly's got a boyfriend. And I said, Kim, stop it. She goes, yep. She goes, I'm going to read scripture at their wedding. And I said, stop it. What are you talking about? Well, after he proposed, I called her and I said, would you like to read scripture at our wedding? So she did. She read the scripture at our wedding.
Cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What about you, Alsups?
Sure.
You guys top that?
We talked about it before the show. We're trying to remember.
Yeah, but y'all's was a lot, longer. Ours was just in 2013. So we didn't have to remember quite as far back.
Well, I'll give you my version. We met in 91, her freshman year. For those that are watching or don't know, the drum line, we do an elevator drill. We're always on the 50 and the twirlers usually start right in front of us. So it's possible that she and I started a conversation during that point, but she brought up prior to coming on that we actually talked at the Band Olympics. So that's the first time we talked was like in 91. But as far as like you fast forward to 94, yeah, it was the same thing. I remember the first day of summer band, hadn't seen each other in a while, and we just started talking, and one thing led to another, and here we are 30-something years later. Yeah, so yeah, so that's my recollection of it. Now, she may have a different version. So
I thought you saw him across the bar at Midnight Rodeo.
No. No, she went to Cowboys. Well,
that's right. She went to Cowpokes.
She went to
That's
Cowpokes.
that's the young.
Sorry, Cowpokes.
Cowpokes. That's the 18 and younger, right?
Yes. Yeah. We were at Midnight Rodeo. She was across town at Cowpoke.
Okay. All right.
So,
Well,
yeah. I mean that's how it started, and yeah, I'm sure somewhere in there is actually what happened, but yeah.
Amie, what's your version?
I don't remember all those details. That's what's so crazy about it. But I mean, I think we talked on and off different times. You're just in a big group a lot of times. And then I think we sat on the bus maybe together.
Yes, on bus 8, when I got to be an upperclassman, I could invite people. And yeah, you got to ride. You got the ATE bus 8.
So yeah, I mean, just little things like that. And then I think my senior year was when we really started what I would say dating. And then when I graduated, then we moved to Abilene. and I taught there for a year. And then we moved to Austin after that, and now we're in Mansfield. So, and no children went to Tech. We had a OU and a TCU child. No, we couldn't convince them to go to Tech, which was fine because I didn't want to drive that drive. But the funny thing is, they know they know the cheer fight song. So they both were cheerleaders, and they did competitive cheer and did school cheer. No one followed in my footsteps to twirl, but. And so that they know the Tech fight song, all the motions of the Tech fight song better than they know OU or TCU. So
I love it.
That's awesome.
And they just start going.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 27 and 24 now. So, but even then, because we taught them at a very young age. So his dad was the photographer for many years in the band. And so when we had the kids, then we would go and meet them at the games. He would travel with the band. So we would go to TCU and meet them there when we lived here. And so they got to know Tech very early. Early.
Good. They bleed red and not just red, but black.
Yeah, there's some purple scattered in there, and then
Well, I want
to the red.
You guys keep mentioning the bus. So, in high school you travel by bus, going to the opposing field, and of course there are chaperones. I mean, they're watching you very close. But now here you guys are adults, especially in bus 8.
Bus 8.
What's some of the shenanigans? I know it happened. I mean, I'm pretty sure there wasn't really chaperones because you guys are adults. Some of them were drinking age.
Well,
Shawn, you were there for you're like 42 years old, right?
Parents were chaperones.
My parents were the chaperones of bus 8.
No way.
And several times I had to tell them just to turn around. No, as far as bus 8 goes, I mean, we had bus surfing. There was one year, one of our bass drummers was a bartender at Chelsea's, and so we had a bar set up in the back of the bus. Bus weddings, zit weddings, so on and so forth. We had our own rituals on the bus, I guess you could say. But as far as the bus goes, going back when we first started, when I talked about getting your SIGs, if you were a freshman and you had all the current people marching, you could actually ride on bus 8. If not, you had to go find another bus. Once all the seats started to fill, the more upperclassmen you were, you got to invite a guest. And so since I was there for a while, Amie got to ride pretty much her entire senior year. She got to ride on bus 8. But I mean, we did the whole movie thing. Other than, the click. I brought some clicks. Y'all remember the clicks?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I brought several.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the click. Quick story on the click. What we used to do was we would get together before a game at somebody's house, and everybody would bring a story. Somebody would bring something, and we would all kind of put it together. The editors would kind of like rotate or whatever, and then we would go to Kinko's over off of Broadway and make enough clicks that everybody in the entire band got it. So you're looking at 400 plus, and every bus would get a click. And I mean, sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was not so funny. But that was one of the things that we would pass out. And so one of the things you would do is you were driving, you would like read the click. And it basically was kind of like a National Lampoon's kind of sort of thing. But yeah, I've got a lot of them. This was just a few that I brought out. So, I mean, I've got clicks from whenever I got there until whenever I ended. I think I've got a copy of every one. So it's a stack.
Wow.
Of clicks.
You should have those bound into a book.
Oh, I don't know. To protect it.
For your own personal preservation, not something that you would put out, but like to go to FedEx and have them put it in a bound book so you have it for your keepsake.
Yeah, like I found one of them. I remember this one because I was part of it. It was, oh gosh, when was it? I'm trying to find what 19. No. Where was it? It was the Better Than Nothing click. And I mean, it was just like something that was copied at Kinko's, signatures on the back. And I forgot what year this was.
Is it kind of like scripts?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it was just you take it to Kinko's. It's just
okay.
paper. Yeah. We would have our trip itinerary that we would basically just kind of do our own thing. But then there would be stories. There would be sometimes somebody might kind of go out and write a story or not say a person's name, but basically throw something out there. But the person that read it would know exactly who they were talking about, that type of thing. But yeah, that was kind of one of the things we did on the bus, just the clicks.
Did you guys have a house, a frat house?
The Zit house, the bash, the Zit bash.
You did?
Yes.
But it was in a Greek circle or Greek.
No. It was off of Indiana. It's where the Rawls
course is now.
Where the Rawls course.
Okay.
Oh, going back to as far as being a freshman, if you were a freshman in Zit and we had the Zit house, one of your duties on that particular day was you had to go clean the yard and clean the house. Because the bash was that night. And then at night you would basically work security, take up keys. You were at the mercy of, if an old guy said, held up their glass or something, you had to go to the keg and fill up their keg or whatever. Fill up their glass and take it back to them. So, but yeah, we had the Zit house was over on Indiana. No longer exist. And then after that, the bash kind of moved around, but I don't even know if they even do one anymore. I mean, that was a thing back in the day. So,
okay. What about you, Albert? Any when it came to bus, like out of town games?
I usually rode bus 5, and I was bus captain. I was in the band fraternity, Kappa Psi, so we were the ones that were in charge of being bus captains. And so, we all had pretty much the bus that we wanted to ride all the time. So I would always do 5, and part of your responsibilities of being a bus captain, we would sell Cokes on the bus. So, we'd have a cooler, and then we'd go before each out of town trip. We'd go to Sam's and buy like 100 cases of Cokes, and there was 10 for each bus. We had 9 buses, and then we'd split some others up, and so you would sell Cokes, and the band sorority, Tau Beta Sigma, they would sell cookies and crackers and stuff on the bus. And then I would also check roll, and then
hand out the money,
and we'd get per diem, so real money. So have to go and pass that out, and everybody would sign for their money, and then pass out the click and all that. So, I mean, it was fun. I never, since we usually went down 84 to get onto I-20 for most trips, I mean, I never sat down probably till around Sweetwater, just passing out money and the click and selling stuff. I mean, it was just.
So you guys never traveled on game day? It was like travel the day before?
Yeah, usually the day before, and we would like at a Houston, if we could go to the Houston area, San Antonio, Austin, we would play at some high school games for recruiting purposes. So we might show up at one high school, do a halftime during their halftime, and then we would load up on the bus, go to a different high school, and do a post-game performance there. And those were always great because they didn't know what to expect. And, if we're in the Austin, they're like, oh, go Longhorns and all that. And then after we performed, they were like all about Tech.
Well, I have a memory. We talked about it, I guess when we were dating. I remember my sophomore year at North Mesquite, one of these after the game performances from this huge band. And I didn't remember that it was Texas Tech, but I remembered that they were red and black. And I remember being absolutely blown away by this humongous band that filled the whole field. And come to find out, when I was a sophomore in high school, my future husband was down there on the field as a freshman at Tech, performing at North Mesquite, at Mesquite Memorial Stadium. So that's what we did on the band trips. Is we would usually leave on a Friday, and then for recruiting purposes perform at not usually halftime, but perform after the high school game, and then perform at the Tech game on Saturday. And if time permitted, then we would perform at a NFL game the next day. So we performed at I performed at a couple of Cowboy games, and which I had done in high school. So I'd already, been there since I'm, from the Metroplex. But then, at my picture over there at Astro World, or Astrodome. So that's kind of what would happen. Is we would usually not just perform at the halftime of the Tech game, but we would perform a lot of times 3 times, and then have a practice in there as well when we went away for those weekend trips.
Wow, was that exhausting? Like, would you get back to Lubbock and just be dog tired?
Yeah.
Well, you'd get back late Sunday night, and then you'd have class Monday morning. But we were young; we can handle it. We can handle it.
I just got to say, if you really want to recruit kids, you should have just taken a bus 8 at the bar. Man, you would have had them. Boom, they would have signed them right there.
Hey, quick story about bus 8. We went down to San Antonio for PASIC, and it was right before a game on. We performed on a Friday. We went down and did it was a competition or demonstration, I can't remember. And one of the guys that was in the drum line, his parents lived in San Antonio. PASIC was in San Antonio, and the dad had gotten like a keg for the drum line. So we're to his house, we ate or whatever, and somehow or another that keg got back on the bus.
Oh my gosh.
And so we drove all night to get back to Jones Stadium to basically do pregame. And I think the bus actually met everybody there for practice. And of course, we had a keg on our bus the entire way back. And so we got off and did our show. And that might have been one of the best, as far as musicality playing wise, I'd ever had. Very loose, but it was fun. I mean, bus 8, a lot of memories, a lot of the memories I'll keep to myself. But yeah, there's a lot of them.
Well, we'll have another show for that. For that. So, guys, hey, time flies. We're almost at the end. So, I want to ask one question because it's probably going to take a while for you guys to answer, and then we'll get to parting words. Albert, what does it mean to be part of a Goin Band from Raiderland for 100 years? I mean, this is their 100th anniversary. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it is just the best feeling knowing that I was a part of the best tradition on the Tech campus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether we watch the band at the Macy's Day Parade or you just hear it on the games, I mean, you just feel with pride, and it's like, that's my band. And then you go back every year to the alumni band, and you're there with all these people that march there that come back specifically for that. And it's like, wow, we've known each other for over 40 years now, and we can still take part in this incredible organization, and just you build lifelong friendships, and I just love everything. I loved every minute of it. We didn't win every game, that's for sure, but I mean, just being there, having basically a front row seat to everything, and to know that we continued that tradition, and now the kids there are continuing the tradition. It's just a great feeling.
Cool. What about you, Shelly? What does it mean to be part of this band?
You just can't say how proud you are to be a part of this incredible organization, and to know that we're still a part of it, that I met my husband there, and that we still go back every year for band alumni. When we get glimpses of the band on TV, the game, when we were on ESPN Game Day a couple weeks ago, when the football team was on there, and they showed the Goin Band at the beginning, and then they showed the Goin Band playing the national anthem through the whole broadcast. You hardly ever get to see bands on TV anymore. I sat there crying. I was just so proud to know that I was a part of that organization. And like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade a couple of years ago, I mean, I'm emotional. I just sat there crying, just like, oh my gosh, look at these kids. And we all felt like proud parents, the people that had been in the band before, to know that these kids were able to represent this incredible organization on the national spectrum, on the national stage. So it's such pride, just a ridiculous amount of pride.
Cool. Amie, what about you?
I would say just really an honor to be able to be chosen to continue the tradition that started, and then to give that tradition on and pass it on. I think watching them do things that we've always done. I know the twirlers have changed a lot since I was there, but they still always do the same thing to the fight song, and the same thing.
And the flag line does too at pregame. They do the same routine, yes.
And so, to be part of that and to think, wow, I did that too, is just truly, it just holds a special place in my heart for any of those kids that are there now, and then just what an honor it was to take the place of those that went before.
Nice. Shawn, man.
9+ years, the greatest time of my life, man. Between marching, getting 2 senior plaques, getting to work the drum line, meeting her, meeting the guys, going to the games, just the tradition. It was an honor. It was an honor to put on the uniform. Every Saturday, whatever, marching over, playing the tunes that were handed down from the 70s all the way down to when I marched in there. And then they've added some new tunes since then. Man, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And that's the one thing. I mean, for us, we didn't get to go back last year to March, but the year before we went. But every year, we've been talking about it. The girls are older now, and they've got their own lives going on. And we're just like, hey, we got to make this a tradition. Just go back and see people, because, I mean, for myself, I'm getting older. And I just want to be able to go back and just relive some of the best moments of my life with some of the best people that I met during that time. And so our plan next year is to go back and put the drum on one more time and do it again. So loved it.
You mentioned age. I mean, so Shelly, you probably feel more like a grandmother, not like a parent.
Okay, I'm not 60 yet. I've got a few years.
Well, Lisa, do you want to ask him one more thing before we go to parting words, or something short and sweet?
Well, what I was going to ask was, what was your favorite thing about your experience? But you've all just really kind of declared that.
You can ask them what I always ask people about the, with the cell phones.
Okay. Well, what I was going to ask is, did you ever mess up during a game? But I'd
Yeah.
rather.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I will speak to that. My freshman year, we twirled fire at the bonfire for homecoming, and we put 12 twirlers on the flatbed of a truck. And the flames were so close, and you see how much hairspray we used. However, we were told, tone down the hairspray that night. The scariest moment of my entire life was on that flatbed truck with fire at the ends of we've done light shows. We put lights at the end of our batons, but actual fire, it was like, oh my gosh. And I can't believe I didn't remember that earlier about that. But yeah, twirling fire on a flatbed truck with my friend, literally her baton right here by my hair.
jeez.
So scary.
Oh, gosh.
Scary, but
Yeah, it would be scary. We
definitely.
our twirlers in high school shared a similar story with fire.
Yes, never again. Never
Yeah,
again.
she, the girl slung, and I guess is it kerosene you guys use?
Yes.
Yeah, it landed on her hair and her just little fires.
Yeah.
No,
No.
it was Jenny Hogue, Albert. So,
Yeah.
John, real quick, what about you, man? Cell phone, either good or bad. What's memory that you wish, like, damn, I wish I had a cell phone to capture that video or picture?
The one thing I can remember, we were doing it was the I can't remember the show, but anyway, I got too close to a flag or a flag got too close to me, and I got my my gaucho hat knocked off my head. And so I'm marching up, and I'm probably the only one of 400 people that doesn't have a hat on. So I just remember Bearden looked at me and just with this stare, and because I didn't have a hat, because she flipped the flag, hit the front of my hat, boom, it went off the back of my head. And it was just one of those things like, obviously it was an accident, but it was just that look. And I remember I came off the field, and he understood. Once he figured out what happened, everything was cool, but it was almost like, it was just like, so you didn't wear your hat during this entire performance? No, that wasn't it. But yeah, that would probably be the one time. But yeah, that was fun times.
Albert? Yeah.
If I could have had a cell phone to record something, I think it would have been the last time. I wish I had it on tape. The last time that we played the patriotic show, and we went into America the Beautiful. It's just the most beautiful arrangement. And when you're out there playing, you want to just play it perfectly, because you just hear it and it's like, this is beautiful. This is like the perfect arrangement. And then it hits you. It's like, this is the last time I'm ever going to do this, play this tune. And I just wish that I would have had my phone out there to record that time. I mean, I wish I would have had recordings of many other things, but that one in particular, being that it was the last one, and it was just such a beautiful arrangement.
Okay. Shelly?
I would love to have recorded my senior march. I remember that so well. So at the last home game of your senior year, all of the seniors line up at one end of the field, and you play the fight song, and you march all the way down to the other end of the field. Mm-hmm. And I remember that so incredibly well. And they even had our names. They had our names on the old double T. And I remember seeing Shelly Vorwerk. And, we didn't have cell phones. And of course, I wouldn't have taken a camera, wouldn't have thought to take a camera to the game. And I would love to have had a recording of that last senior march, and then my name on the double T up there. That would have been amazing.
Wasn't it Grandy also?
I thought we played the fight song.
That song and Grandy.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the two.
Okay.
Just think if Vega would have been added, 30, 40 years later. So real quick before we go into our parting words, there were some people leaving comments. I don't know who that. I mean, I don't know if you guys recognize the name. And then someone said, "Hi everyone, Julie Giovanni Zoza." Yeah, and you guys don't know her, don't remember her. No. And there's a chick named Maria Gabor. No, and I don't know who this dude is. 84. The mullets are powerful and white haircut. Love them. And of course, they make comments of our Lisa. She looks sexy. And then I'm not gonna show the other two. But anyway, guys, thank you. 100 years. It's good. It's good. You guys, you're honored to be in that band, and like I said, that organization. So let's go with our parting words because it's time to say goodnight. So Amie, what's your parting words?
Thank you for having us, listening to all of our crazy stories. So it was great.
Cool. Shawn, man.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate you reaching out. It's been a pleasure seeing Shelly and Albert reliving some good memories. So thank you again. It was an honor.
Cool. So we're gonna have two shows from Shawn, Zitz and the Regulators.
Oh, the Regulators.
Albert, what about you, man? This is your second show, so
Yeah,
welcome back.
in time, and man,
Hey, I want to get you and Carol on here, just you two. I bet you guys can share a lot of stuff back in high school.
I think so.
I
I'd
believe
love to
so.
do it, but yeah, I mean, thank you for having me on again. I mean, for having us. It's fun. I mean, and this happens with anytime we get together with other band alums. It doesn't matter if we march together, if they're, 10 years, 15 years older than us, younger than us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the stories just flow, and it's a testament to what this organization is and means to us. So just thank you for allowing us to share our stories with everybody that's out there, because it's an organization that's near and dear to our heart. So thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. You guys share it, man. Share, because that post is also the link to the show, live or recorded. So, Shelly, your parting words.
Here's to another 100 years of the best band in the land.
Awesome.
Honored to be part
You know
of
what?
it.
Sean would be here.
Yeah.
Love you, man. I love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
All right, Miss Lisa, our parting words.
Well, thank you again on behalf of both of us for agreeing to come on our show to share your stories. It's been so fun to watch. I was not in band, but certainly appreciated the band for the excitement. And to me, the band kind of set the tone for the energy of games. And it's been really incredibly delightful to hear how beyond your stories, you feel your pride and how honored you were to be part of that tradition and organization. And even though I was only at Tech for a year, I loved it. I still consider myself a Red Raider. And it's just really heartwarming to have all this time go by and that you still can bring those memories to such life in your retelling of them. So it's really special. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to turn around. Show the shirt.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
Albert, stand up a little bit higher so we can, our viewers can see your shirt as well. Oh, there we go. Okay, very nice.
I want to see that Zit one again. That's from you. That's back from your.
This is my rookie jersey from 1986.
Well, stand up, man. Stand up.
Yes.
Because you're once you stand up, because your name is in front of you.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you? Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Zeta, Iota,
Iota Tau.
Yes. All right, Shelly, what kind of shirt do you have on? It's just
I have I've got, I don't know what's on the back. This is
Yes,
a Goin Band
100.
shirt.
nice.
Can you see
Oh,
that?
Got the 100.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Amy.
No,
Nothing. Nothing. Nada.
She's a twirler. She had to be nice. dressed.
Everyone have a
Guys, gang.
wonderful holiday season.
Yes, happy
happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Go.
Merry
Thank you for
Christmas,
having
Happy
us.
New Year's. So, guys, we'll see you guys again. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was cool. I like that. There were some things that I found out that I didn't realize. Like the hold on, let me kick them from the studio. Like the twirlers. I did not realize only Tech had a line. That's
I didn't either. I thought all the colleges had
yeah,
twirlers, a line of twirlers. News to me.
absolutely. So it was cool. It was cool. Good seeing Albert, and again, Shawn and I hung out together in when I lived in Lubbock for 10, I don't know, maybe 15 years. I knew him. We spent a lot of times at Midnight Rodeo. So, but
Okay.
yeah, we had
That might just be a whole show, right? Midnight
It is. There's a show. There's 7 of us: Jesse Barrera, Martin Barrera, and then some other guys from Lubbock. They call us the Regulators because we went there on Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night for like 5 years in a row.
Oh my gosh.
we were,
Okay.
we were a fiction.
Why haven't we had that show?
It's in the works, so we got to talk to some old friends. Again, more than half the guys are not from Plainview, so. But that will be some shit talking there. It'll be you're gonna hear a lot of stories about me. Half of them are true, half are not true.
I get to be the interviewer on that.
I guess so. Yeah, because I know there's this part that one of the guys had a bachelor party, and I got drunk and I fell out face flat out of the party bus. I'm like, I don't remember being there at all. I mean, I don't remember going to his bachelor party because I think I was living in New York. But anyway,
thank goodness there weren't cell phones.
I know. We're not going to bring that up. Well, Miss Lisa, well, I hate to say this, guys, but our next show, well, no, not that our next show is going to be choir. It's going to be Plainview High School classmates, Walt Taylor, Lisa Guy, LaFonda Norrell. Hold on, let me pull up the rest of the name. Ginger Greenhill, and I believe Marla Leach. They're going to be on our show next week. But unfortunately, this will be the first show I'm going to do solo because Lisa's going to be slumming it with the Black Bears and Big Band.
Yes, 2 weeks of hiking and relaxing and, just hanging out in the desert.
So hopefully she can still make a cameo at the beginning. Let's hope she does. So anyway, guys, peace and love. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.